Welcome back to class, scholars. Today's class we shall be discussing the plot of the play The Thinking Head, written by Akeem Ajibade. In the play, we see how Babatunde used the story of Mrs. Ajani and her brother to tell Babafemi the need to send children to school. This story was inspired by Babafemi's ignorance, which made him withdraw his son Femi from school to learn a trade because Femi is not doing well academically. And also Babafemi feels that both the person going to school and those learning a trade are working for the same thing, which is money. But Babatunde tells him that education is very important and there are a number of things that money cannot buy. Now to the story of Mrs. Ajani and her brother. Mrs. Ajani is a wealthy local politician who refused to send her son to school. Her brother, Kolapo, is not very influential like Mrs. Ajani, yet used his resources to educate his son. Mrs. Ajani happens to be the treasurer of Food for All Party, FFAP. She sponsored her son, Jeje Lola, to contest for the councillorship seat of their community. Although Jeje Lola was very wealthy, he is a stark illiterate. This makes the electoral call him as the councillorship candidate of the Food for All Party. In order not to lose out or allow other people take the party position, Mrs. Ajani refused Afolabi, that is, Kolapsan, a certificate in education, NCE, to fly the party flag. She makes a deal with Afolabi's father, Kolapo, that Afolabi is to refund the money spent by Jeje Lola on campaign because he was disqualified. Not only that, Afolabi will pay her warranted of the salary he earns and he will contract in the local government. Eventually, when Mr. Afolabi wins the election on the platform of the Food for All Party, FFAP, Mrs. Ajani is happy and thank the party chairman and members for supporting her candidate, Afolabi. Mr. Afolabi would not use state fund to fund regular politicians. He gives money out for good cause only. Mrs. Ajani is mostly affected. She is not getting contracts or money from Afolabi after all her investments in his election. Mrs. Ajani then reports Kolapo, her brother, and his son Afolabi to Mogaji, the community leader. She complains to Mogaji that both Kolapo and Afolabi are not making returns to her, though they knew it was her son's position she gave Afolabi. Kolapo, her brother, denies any agreement with her and says that his son Afolabi was picked as the candidate because Mrs. Ajani's son, Jeje Lola, was disqualified for lack of education by the electoral body. Kolapo told Mrs. Ajani to her face that she wants to reap where she did not sow. Mrs. Ajani regretted not sending her son, Jeje Lola, to school. When the story ends, Babafemi gets the message immediately, then tells Babatunde that he is now convinced that money is not everything. He therefore decides to send Femi back to school. Now this is the plot of the play. The thinking head here in this play refers to Babatunde, whose rationality and accurate thinking influenced the story he told in a bid to convince Babafemi that education is the foundation of all things and that there are a number of things one cannot buy with money. Thank you for watching. See you in the next class. Bye.